So old time business principle is that people typically have to see your product at least 7 times before they make a purchase. Was that pre-social media? Because I'm starting to come across some thoughts from some influencers in that space of marketing and promotion that say you need to have your product exposed at least 30 times before any purchases should be expected to be made. And that sounds like a nice little sentiment, but I want your thoughts on that. Do you think that ballpark of frequency is anywhere accurate now that social media has so many different things thrown in your face every day?
I don't know about 30, but the overall sentiment of the more time people see your brand, the more they trust it is true. Okay. It depends on where they see it as well. If for a lot of people, if they see it on TV, even you could have paid less for the campaign on TV than you did on social media. But if people see it on TV, they're like, oh, this is now somehow more official than the ads I see on social media.
Right.
Because there's a gatekeeper, there's a different gatekeeper for TV than there is for social media. So this is psychology.
Okay.
It's really all it is.
Okay.
The 30 times also depends on how good the ad is.
Yeah.
It depends on the ad copy. Depends on the intent of the person searching for it. You can get a search engine ad that answers the exact problem that somebody has, and if the landing page is good enough, you can get a 1 impression.
Right.
Really shouldn't be 30 times for search ads. So it depends on a lot of things. The overall lesson in this is psychology. You need to understand, you need to put yourself in your audience seat wherever they are.
Yep.
If they're on Facebook, there's a different psychology than if they're on Instagram. It's a different psychology if they're on stories versus reels. It's a different psychology if they're on the feed versus the marketplace ads. Like all of them are slightly different. So in order to be great at ads, you really have to understand people. If you don't really understand people, that is why we have services such as ours that do Facebook and Instagram ads. And are usually what we're trying to focus on, well, at least for our business, we focus on conversions for our business. We really don't run follower ads too much for ours. It just doesn't really get me up in the morning all that much.
10 flowers.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like when people follow, but we've always run conversion ads heavily. It's more so, hey, here's, rather than taking you to our Instagram page, here's our website.
Right.
Go straight to the website. Don't really care if you follow us because we have you pixeled now. We'll be able to get you on our email list as opposed to Instagram. We have probably 6 to 7 times more email subscribers than we do Instagram followers by design.
Right.
So psychology, that is the lesson of the day. Now, impression based, there are different types of businesses, which we talked about before. Of once you get to a certain stage, like everybody knows Amazon's proposition pretty much by now. They have Amazon Prime. I can get my items in a day or two. But in order to keep your brand dominance, you want that impression-based advertising of, you don't even have to like talk about your benefits anymore. You're more just hitting on emotions.
Yes.
So that's why you'll see Coke come out with an ad of just like feelings of happiness. Has nothing to do with the Coke. They're just trying to draw an emotion, implant it deep in your memory of feelings of happiness when you see Coke, even though it's terrible for you. Right. If you take Amazon, it would be the same thing. Of like, they have movies and whatnot, but they're probably going to talk about something that has nothing to do with the movie service 100%. In order to instill that emotion in you. So that's what I gather from the impression-based method, or the question of like, how many times does somebody have to see this? There is no number. It depends on a lot of different things. It depends on you, how well you understand your audience and understand advertising, and understand your platforms. You have to study more than everybody else. If you want to be great at advertising these days, you have to study more than everybody else and execute more than everybody else.
Yeah. I will also add to that and probably be willing to sacrifice more than everybody else. And when I say sacrifice, I'm talking about even, in monetary means, because, just because you have a X amount of budget and you have a good ad, and for what you would consider to be a good ad, you put that budget behind that ad, doesn't mean it's going to perform the best. It's going to take some tweaking. You have to experiment a little bit. You might run out of your budget and not have the results that you expected to have. But does that mean you quit? Does that mean you stop going? You just got to figure it out. But it's not going to be free. It's not going to, it could be less expensive than what a lot of other people spend if you get folks like us on board to help you craft the ads and things like that. But a lot of times people expect themselves to have one ad, one option to put out there, and then $500 to back that and expect there to be conversions left and right. It's not always working like that. So yeah, just a little side note as well.